All right, we were talking about yesterday how, the Sluka kid, the quarterback for UNLV, and, the NIL deals and whatnot, and what really should have the league, the NCAA should have done, we both agree a long time ago so that they could right this ship, and they didn't. So now here we are where you have Rob Portnoy of Barstool, who is obviously highly successful, made a bunch of money for himself. He's a University of Michigan alum. He says, David Portnoy, I'm sorry. He said, you said he's annoying?
Yes.
Well, the annoying is what made him what he is money-wise.
I'm just saying. That's all.
He has said he is willing to pay the Michigan quarterback, anybody who wants to come and be that guy at Michigan, $2 to $3 million. And that opens up a can of worms as we had this conversation of when this stuff is not regulated. You got guys like David Portnoy saying, hey, I'm making crazy money. I'm an alum. I love Michigan more than anything. Here's $2-3 million. Come be the star quarterback here. What do you do? How do you stop this from happening?
You can't stop it because this is the system that's set up so that people, alumnus, advertisers, sponsors, boosters can put up money. It's wide open. It's the wild, wild west. College football and these universities didn't want to have to pay. It's just that simple. So they decided we'll let other people pay. We won't regulate it. Do whatever you want. We don't care. Let the kid drive a Mercedes truck, or whatever it is, right? A G-Wagon, whatever it is, because they don't want to get involved and have to pay. And that's where you are. So Dave Portnoy, that's what he can do. Because there's nobody to stop him, right?
Yeah.
If he wants to put up the money, what did he say, $3 million?
Yep.
He's got money to burn. Maybe it's a tax write-off to the university, right? A school, some sort of. Can he get a tax break for it? You know what I mean?
What also is interesting, I think, was going to happen. I was talking to Rob Jeet about this. I told him, I said, look, man, what's about to happen with this NIL? Because the fact is right now, it's getting crazier and crazier. You got kids leaving school because, hey, I had a handshake agreement with an offensive coordinator who said he was going to give me $100,000. I'm not getting that $100,000. What you might end up have happening, Rob, is where you start to alienate, annoy, or create disgruntled fans of the sport. Right now, it's fun, right? This is something the tide has shifted, and I think the average American has said, I'm with these young men and the women being able to make money off themselves. I'm with these young athletes getting paid off their name, image, and likeness. It only makes sense. It's well overdue. But what I worry, Rob, we talked about Sluka, the quarterback for UNLV, and we were like, all right, yeah, they gave you an agreement for $100,000. They're not paying you. I get it. But what starts to happen when it's bigger schools, right? When it's Michigan, when it's Alabama, when it's USC, and it starts to be these weird conversations that were had. Was David Portnoy joking or was he not? He agrees to pay a kid.
Right.
And let me get real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you start to lose. Now in the middle of a season, Michigan is 5-0, and the quarterback says, well, David Portnoy was joking or whatever have you, and I'm just leaving. And he leaves in the middle of a season where you have a chance to compete for a national championship. So it's as it starts getting more and more affects the winning of major schools, I think you're going to start having fans like, hold on now. I was with you getting paid. I was understood that. But now the season started. Now we're 3-0, 5-0, 6-0. Alabama, you're leaving us because of this. You're disgruntled because of that. They didn't get you the car because of that. And I think you're going to start having the average fan who's making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year looking at some of these kids. All right, now, it was cute for a moment. Now it's affecting the wins and losses and chances at titles. And now I'm starting to get a little offended. I think we're going to see a shift if it doesn't get controlled or we find some type of happy medium, if you will.
Yeah, I don't see a shift because I don't see the schools wanting to pay the kids. And fans can't be mad if somebody reneges on a deal. Everybody knows that. And shame on any player who doesn't have a written agreement with the lawyer. So the kid at Las Vegas, that's on him, okay? Like, you don't have I'm sorry, I don't care what the coach told you or whatever. When you're talking about that kind of money, this isn't I'm going to take you out to lunch, and I'm going to pick up the tab for the wings
racks.
today.
It's a whole lot.
Okay, that's a big difference. And then we get to the restaurant, and you're not paying for lunch. You know, that's different. I got my own money. I'll pay my own wings, and I'll never go out to lunch with you again. Simple.
Yeah.
But somebody's talking about $100,000 and you don't have a written agreement? Come on. Dude, really?
Yeah, I just think I'm starting to see where this is going to shift because the more and more you get kids feeling entitled, I'm owed this, I'm due this, I'm doling that, I'm doing absolutely what I want to do, I'll transfer. I think you're going to start seeing fans start to say, all right, now this is getting a little carried away. It's affecting the actual wins and losses of my team in the middle of a season, not off season. I get that, but in the middle of the season. So I don't know. Maybe he does offer up $2 or $3 million. Shoot, he was hanging with the kid who was spying for Michigan, who was spying on everybody. If you saw that Netflix documentary,
yes.
He was running with him. So he's willing to do whatever to get his team to win.
I was in there. The Odd Couple had a clip in
there.
Yeah,
you were in there. Yeah, you were in there. Shout out to you.
And I do want to say this. My long friend, we've been friends since we were in kindergarten. Kamel Ellis is listening on Sirius XM Channel 83, and he's with you. I mean, he's a Steelers guy, and he's like... And he just texted me and told me to lay off of Justin Fields. So you got some.
What's his name again?
Kamel Ellis.
At least you got one real friend with you.
There you go.
Shout out to Kamel. Shout out to you.
We went to kindergarten together. We've been friends
since
we were 5 years old. Isn't that crazy?
How does he do it?
What do you mean?
How does he put up with you?
Come on, man.
That's a long time to do that.
Yep.
To be friends with you. All right. On another football tip, going to college football. Quickly.
And obviously you grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, so you had to be a college football fan.
Oh, yeah. You literally had no choice. Literally, it was like, come out the womb. I was born at University of Michigan Hospital. You have no choice.
And the difference is, like, as a kid growing up in New York, we didn't have college football.
Which is always so interesting.
Right,
because,
Yeah. Like seriously.
The city with the most people in our country.
No college football.
Don't really have an allegiance to college football.
No.
That's an interesting thing.
Because New York has 9 pro teams, we're not a college town.
So obviously college football is clearly the thing in so many other parts of the country, especially in a place like Alabama. But one of the conversations people are starting to have as we gear up for this weekend, big matchup, is Kirby Smart, coach of Georgia, and a lot of people are quietly saying, are we looking at the next Nick Saban?
He still got work to do, man, to be Nick Saban.
He said that as well.
Am I right? I mean,
he admitted
not that Kirby Smart isn't a top coach, but Nick Saban and what he was able to do and win at different places. Nick Saban is the best college football coach I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking. Speaking of Michigan, saw what he was doing at Michigan State too.
I covered him when I was a columnist at the news, I should say.
Yeah.
So I remember those early days, and he left and became. He became golden in college football.
Yeah, he's kind of created the standard. And one of the things, too, you got to also have is not just the success when it comes to just wins. You also got to have some type of personality, some flair to you, some pop, some pizzazz as well. So he doesn't necessarily have all of that. But it is interesting. I think Jim Harbaugh had a chance to be not necessarily the best, but like the biggest one for another 10 years if he was to stay at Michigan, but all the scandals had to get him kicked out of there.
No doubt.
Let's go to the phone call. I see we still got some folks who want to jump in on a previous conversation.
877-99 on Fox. This is about the NIL, right, that we were talking about and the future of it. Andre in Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre?
Yeah, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Listen, it's clear. NIL is the wave of the future, and these coaches and programs either get on board or they get left behind and left in the dust. And that's the bottom line. So this booster at Michigan kind of putting it out there, that $3 million is the going fee for a starting quarterback. Well, guess what? That's what Arch Manning has, and that was a part of his deal to get him to Texas and to build themselves up, and you kind of see where they are. So him saying it up front, I have no issue with that, but that's what's going on behind the scene. And I have an issue with these coaches that want to get on the stump and talk about this tried-and-true amateurism nonsense. It's why Nick Saban left, and Dabo Sweeney over there crying the blues and talking about the good old days. Well, that's why you're getting the break speed off of you by Georgia and everybody else, because you refuse to get with the transfer portal and NIL, and you want to do it the old school way, and you just don't have the horses.
And guys, let me say this, Dre. I'm going to say this. And people, that's what Tom Izzo bucked that for a long time. You know he hasn't won a championship in 25 years. Mm-hmm. Tom Izzo wouldn't, and he came to the party late on that with the one-and-dones and all that. Yep. He didn't want to do that. And you can't win. You won't win unless you conform. You'll be a dinosaur, and people will pass you by.
Yeah. Hey,
Thanks, Dre.
appreciate the call, Dre. It's the same thing. Remember,
right?
Coach K started struggling.
But what did he do?
Yeah.
He got on board.
He had to get on board and get the one and done.
You got to get on board if you want to be relevant. You can't keep doing the same old thing.
I think what's happening too is you start to get these groups. Appreciate Dre. You start to get these groups who are used to winning because of the structure of it. Like I win a little bit. I got some good boosters. It's a factory. I keep getting in the best kids, so I'm just gonna always win. Now you got to be different. Now you got to out recruit. Now you got to outthink ways. NIL, X's and O's, and it makes it harder. And they don't want to compete when now the playing field is at least somewhat level to an extent.
No doubt. Drew in Denver, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
What's up? Hope y'all doing good.
What's up, Drew?
We're doing great, buddy. How are you?
Chilling. Love the new edition. Love the show, bro.
Appreciate you, Drew.
I haven't called in a minute, but I'm listening. Don't even trip.
Okay. I'm glad you are, my man. Thank you.
I feel like I have no problem with Dave Portnoy saying that because I feel like the school should do like a thing like the regulation where it's like every person that's like giving money should have like 10-year taxes of like showing that you're able to pay the kids the money. You feel me? Right. Like your business has to be able to sustain the money you're giving away. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't give the money away and then hope, oh, like this kid is gonna bring my business money, then I'll be able to pay him. Like I feel like stuff like that, and then the mom and pop shops. They're just that's probably like the problem with it is like.
I get what you're saying.
No, I get it.
Thank you for the call, Drew. Yeah, he's saying, hey, I'll pay you $10 million, but then I only got $2 million.
Anybody can promise you anything. We could squeeze one more in. Eric in Austin, Texas. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, E?
What's up, Rob? What's up, Kelvin?
What's up?
Welcome to the show, bro. It's my first time calling in to talk to you. Welcome to the show, first and foremost.
Hey, man, appreciate it. One of these days, I got to get down to Austin. It's one of the cool cities in America I haven't been to.
You know what?
Hey,
I hate to admit it. I've never been to Austin either.
Yeah, I always hear good things
Rob,
about it.
that's crazy.
That is crazy. I know.
You gotta come
and
down.
you know I travel all the time. I'm everywhere. I've never been there.
You always up in Dallas. You got to come to Austin, man. You got to come rock with us out here.
What's that nightlife like? He has to know that.
Well, I'm going to pay some tuition when I get down to Austin.
All right.
Yeah, Rob, stay out of 6th Street.
All right. What you got for us?
Man. I'm with Rob completely. I've been saying it for years. Like the NCAA, they need to start footing the bill. Here's the reality situation. If they don't want to foot the bill, that's what's going to happen, right? Literally yesterday, the UNLV story, that's exactly why Nick Saban left. That's exactly why he left, right? The NCAA needs to start paying these players. They want to make money off their names and their backs. They need to start paying the players. It's that simple.
All right, we appreciate the call, Eric. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. We know the NCAA won't. We know the NCAA, whatever the obvious answer is, they're going to go the opposite way.